Peachy keen, jelly beans. Finally. Okay, back to the game I was playing. And here we go. Let's get my thingy up and let's get everything ready. I'm not even organised. You please. You. Okay. Here we go. Restore. Oh, might be an idea.
Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
Oops.
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what
Alright.
brings you back to Paris?
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you?
That's not what he's saying, mate.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Ever heard of Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
Ooh.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
Well, the waiter said it's absinthe.
That fool wouldn't know Pernod from cat's piece.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
Yeah.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you've got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
Snubby-nosed twit.
Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
Grab the flask.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink. It was black, even though I was sure I'd asked for cream. Excuse me.
What?
Didn't you try to appeal against your dismissal?
There was no point. It was my word against that of the chief inspector. and he was a close friend of the director of the museum I was supposed to be patrolling.
Excuse me.
What?
Which museum
I'm
was it you were
talking
supposed to be
this guy
patrolling?
Until these two have gone.
The croon. It wasn't as if anything important was stolen. Just a rusty old tripod.
Now,
The
if
tripod had returned a few weeks later.
If you've seen the first one, you know what he means.
Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
Alright. I think we'll leave it there. We'll wait for the waiter.
The coffee was very bitter and only lukewarm. There was also an unpleasant coagulated lump at the bottom of the cup.
You need anything else?
There's something incubating in the bottom of my cup, garçon.
You asked for it. That's the cream.
But it's all in one lump.
No problem. I'll
That
bring you a
sounds
fork.
like a name for coffee.
Forget it. That's all.
Thank you.
Alright, we'll leave him to his thoughts.
Excuse me.
What?
Ah,
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
geez, you don't have to be depressed for us.
Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glees Gallery.
We'll go to the Glees Gallery.
The Glees Gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
Mm-hmm. Come here, George, please.
Are you Mr. Glees, the owner?
Yes, sir. May I help you?
You're English?
These days one prefers to think of oneself as European.
Sure. Whatever you say.
And how precisely may one assist you, sir?
What I really wanted to ask you about was a black stone.
A black stone?
Yeah, it's a Mayan artifact, about as big as my hand.
No, sir, one doesn't get much call for black stones. If it's Mayan artifacts you're interested in, I have some rather exquisite pots.
Yeah, I noticed. I've already got one of those. Who's that guy over there?
That's Mr. Lane, sir, the critic. I'm hoping he'll give the gallery a favourable write-up.
Yep.
One has to be so patient with these critics. Lure them in with the correct bait, watch for a bite, then play them like a fish.
Well,
This guy's a
he's
bit-
certainly drinking like one.
Oh, sorry. This guy's a bit of a pompous twit.
Have you heard of Professor
The tubby
Ubier?
guy in the grey
Of
suit,
course,
I mean.
his name is synonymous with Mayan art. A number of these artifacts were supplied by Ubier himself.
Do you believe the story that Ubier murdered his wife?
If it was true, who can blame him? She was an opportunist tramp. Well, that's what I heard.
Calm down, mate. Don't judge by other people's tellings.
Have you seen any of Ubier's wife's films?
Only one. Believe me, I was appalled, shocked, disgusted, and repulsed.
Well, you sure got your money's worth. Last time I went to the movies, I wasn't even titillated. I suppose you have an import license for these relics?
Of course. But that's not my problem, sir. The professor arranges all the shipping. We simply collect the items from the docks.
Could you tell me which docks Professor Ubier uses to import the artifacts?
Good God, no. I can't possibly reveal my commercial secrets.
Do you get many Central American Indians in here?
No, sir. This is Paris. Central America is several thousand kilometers southwest of here. Straight across the Atlantic Ocean and turn left. You can't miss it.
Well,
Don't
as it
say
happens, I saw some Central American Indians this very morning.
Tourists, sir. Paris is full of them at this time of year.
I doubt very much they were tourists.
I found this news story referring to a total eclipse of the sun.
Really, sir? Well, fascinating.
He sounded really bored about that.
I'd like your opinion on this pot.
Now, with this
Interesting.
pot, I
Would
am-
Sir be interested in selling the article?
Nope.
That depends. How much would you give me for it?
300? Possible 325?
I'll think about it.
Possibly a no. So, we go over to talk to this guy now. And I'm not going to give him the pot because he breaks it. And
You're
I'll
Lane,
keep
the
hold of it.
critic, aren't you?
Correct. Can't you see I'm busy?
Busy? Doing what?
Appreciating the art. Or
Really?
depreciating it. I have a reputation to uphold.
I could tell this guy was going to be hard work. Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Yes, of course.
I was at his house earlier.
If you're going to drop names, you could at least name one worth dropping.
All
I
right
thought
then.
Oubier was a
Samuel
well-respected man.
Why, his last book was nothing but pseudo-intellectual claptrap. The demented ramblings of a drug-dependent has-been.
Jackson. You gotta love Samuel L. Jackson. He's a right riot. I bet he's great at parties.
What's that you're drinking?
I'm not sure, but I have a suspicion it might be urine. Glees can't expect a favorable criticism of his gallery when he serves this muck.
Okay, go back, because I am not having you breaking my pot. Come back here. Oh, we've got to do this so we get his attention.
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
Okie dokie. Come back and talk to Glees.
How come that Lane guy is so rude?
It seems to be a standard requirement for critics.
Well,
Indeed.
he doesn't want to talk to me.
If I was you, I'd give him a wide berth, sir.
That suits me. I wouldn't want to get too close to him anyhow.
I'll say that some critics are really nice. Like the Nostalgia Critic.
Lane doesn't think much of your choice of wine.
Lost at nerve. The priest who sold it to me said it was a good year.
Maybe it was a good year. Okay, right, we need you.
I splashed a little absinthe into the glass and hoped he wouldn't notice the change of color.
I think he'll notice.
Did you put something in my drink?
Yeah, I did. What do you think?
Well, it's certainly an improvement over Glees's wine. In fact, I could grow to like it.
Alright, we'll give you some more then. Hang on. You're moving your glass around.
Allow me.
And pour some more in. And then... Whoop. You might want to call an ambulance, dude. He's more bothered about his display case.
Were those pots very valuable?
The pots are insured, but not the shelving. You've no idea how much that cost me.
Doo-ba-doo. Let's go back over here. Do-do. Since he's distracted.
There was nothing in the case but styrofoam packing, but pasted on the side was the remains of a label.
Stupid mouse. Don't you hate when your mouse, like, you want to go one way and it wants to go the other?
Underneath a logo of a flying bird were the words
No,
Condor
that way.
Transglobal Mars. The rest of the label was missing.
Oh, did they get the stuff from Mars?
It was beginning to make sense. Oubier had organized Nico's abduction. Oubier withdrew money from Marseille. Oubier was connected with Transglobal, who shipped their goods from a warehouse in Marseille. That's how the torn Transglobal label had once read. Marseille, not Mars. It wasn't much of a lead, but it was all I had. I set off immediately to catch the evening train.
Okay, the lucky piece of coal is actually good to have. So when you go into the hut,
It was almost dawn when I arrived in Marseille. I traced Condor Transglobal to a desolate dockside.
I'll show you why when it gets to that point. Alright, let's go to the fence first. Get the doggy woo's attention.
What's the big idea?
I don't know. The dog went berserk for no apparent reason.
He's trained to do that. The idea is to deter any would-be intruder.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just remember, he's a trained attack dog. A killer.
And then go to the window. Because that way you get to see him do this. Open the trapdoor. Throw in the bottle.
Hi, good morning.
Do you know what time it is?
No, I don't wear a watch. As my
Yeah.
dad used to say, I'm not into time, man.
Well, you're too early.
I want to meet your dad.
What time is it anyhow?
The big hand's on the floor. Why aren't you in bed?
I can explain everything.
Never mind, I ain't that interested.
Alright, fair enough.
What time do you open the gates?
7.
Do you mind if I hang out here till the docks open?
Please yourself, but you'll have a long wait. It's Sunday, and tomorrow is the start of the national holiday. Everything is closed for a month.
Well, wouldn't you just know it? Does that dog belong to you?
Nah, he comes with the job. I just feed him every now and then.
More then than now, I'd say. What's the dog's name?
20.
It's unusual for a dog.
It's his registration number. Security dog number 20.
I wonder what happened to all the numbers
Does number
before.
20 have rabies?
Nah, just a bad attitude. Like I said, he's a trained attack dog. They took him when he was a puppy and messed with his head to make him the way he is.
Ever heard of Condor Transglobal?
Sure, they have a warehouse here.
Well, could I take a look?
Not until after the holidays. Come back in a month.
Is it me or does that look like it's having fireworks in a pan? It's like mini fireworks in it.
I have to make a delivery to Condor Transglobal.
Where's your rig?
About half a mile down the road.
And you walked here? Jeez, are you some kind of nut?
Nah, it was easy. I just put one foot in front of the other.
Sarcastic much.
Are you gonna let me make my delivery?
Not without the paperwork. You get the papers, you make your delivery, and I get a fat backhander.
I was getting nowhere with the story about being a trucker. Do you know what kind of business Condor's involved in?
I'm paid to guard the gate. Their business is none of mine.
Alright.
I'm looking for a young woman.
At the docks? What kind of woman do you have in mind?
You don't understand. It's my girlfriend I'm trying to find.
Well, I ain't seen her, and you should tell her the docks ain't no place for a young lady. They're dirty and they're dangerous.
I'm certain my girlfriend was brought here when she was abducted.
What? Your girl was kidnapped?
Yeah. Struck down by an Indian with a poisoned dart.
A poison dart, huh?
I could tell he didn't believe me. This is the dart that the Indian shot at my girlfriend.
Sheesh! That's pretty weird, but I don't see why you'd expect to find her here.
Have you ever heard of Professor Oubier?
Me? None of my friends are professors or anything like that.
What's cooking?
Beans. You know a man can live on nothing but beans.
Not this one.
Yeah, but if you live on beans too much, you'll end up with a lot of gas.
Don't you ever get tired of eating beans?
Sure I do. What do you take me for?
And what's the alternative?
Peas. I can't eat them too often, though. They play hell with my digestion.
Have you ever considered changing your diet?
What's wrong with beans and beer?
You need me to tell you? You're pumping out enough methane here to fill a dirigible.
Maybe he should put his rear end into the dirigible.
Take a look at this letter.
That's sick. Did you write it?
Oh, no. No, it's a letter from my girlfriend's admirer.
If I was you, I'd smack him in the mouth.
Well, that's not my style, but thanks for the advice.
I'm not going to show you.
I gotta go now, but I'll be back.
Can't wait.
Okay, go down. Go down. Go down, go down, go down. Get that.
The stick had a hook on one end. I figured it was a boat hook for hooking boats.
Okay, so we'll use the boat hook to get the bottle.
I just knew that boat hook would be useful for something. As for the bottle, even if I couldn't find a use for it, I'd cleaned up the dock a little.
Is his pockets like the TARDIS? You know, like you put something in and you can fit. You could fit a TV in his pocket and nobody'd know that he'd be wearing one. Yeah, I do have to
Ouch!
touch it.
That's hot. It was the beer bottle that slob of a watchman had dumped in the sea, now half full of filthy dock water. The label read, Surge, the beer that clears your head.
Or like Surge, the beer that...
The bottle was half filled with water. Maybe it would cool the cone down enough to touch it. Now I could see into the pipe which formed the chimney. The bottle had blocked the chimney, and the hut was filling up with smoke.
Cut down the steps, please. Okay, and then we'll go up here.
The packet was full of dog biscuits. Someone had once told me a piece of coal brought you luck. Who was I to argue with irrational superstition?
And I'll show you why we get the coal in probably the next video, because I'll be probably ending this one in a minute.
Baked beans in ketchup.
Yuck. Okay, come on, let's get out of here. So you need to get... Alright. Throw a biscuit onto the platform.
Hey, 20. Come and get it, boy. I felt a slight twinge of conscience as I prepared to give the dog a dunking. It soon passed.
I don't think the dog will mind, to be honest with you.
As I'd expected, the dog could swim like a... well, like a dog.
Well, he is a dog. Okay, let's save. And exit. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I will catch up with you guys next time. So, have a sunshiny day, and I will see you later. Bye!